coming to my son's special taping show. Please laugh. Even if you've heard some of the jokes before. So, give it up for my son, Bo Johnson.
Let's just start the show a little bit of honesty. Really need this to go good. I'm hoping this will change my life. Because look, it's not lost on me. It's very cool we sold out the show tonight. But what's also true is that this past summer I went to Charlotte, North Carolina to do a show. And after the gig, I crunched the numbers, and with the hotel, the flight, the other comedians, I made exactly $5. And I don't know if you know this, but you don't have to go to Charlotte to make $5. You could just ask a friend. So I've been thinking a lot about where I am in life lately, you know? When my dad was my age, he built a 40-foot sailboat from scratch. He lived on the boat for over a decade. He sailed it all around Alaska, the Puget Sound. As a kid, that was a myth about him, you know? And then in my 20s, I finally asked him, how long did it take you to build the boat? And he was like, 5 years until I could sail it. At that moment, I realized that anything of value in my life would take a minimum of 5 years of dedicated hard work. And I've been doing this for 10 years now. And I'm spending a significant portion of my life savings on a free YouTube video. And I can't help but think, I could have had 2 sailboats by now. Very, very happy to be doing the show here in Portland today, though, you know. I love doing stand-up here. Very cool city, very granola city. Even the graffiti in Portland is socially conscious. I was in a coffee shop bathroom, and the stall just said, mental health is a human right. It's like, I don't disagree, but who do I call for a good time? And then this morning, we went to a pancake joint in town for some breakfast. And in the parking lot, there was an F-45 pickup truck with 2 rifle sight stickers on the back window. But they also had a Protect My Trans Friends bumper sticker. And it's like, I've never seen one vehicle represent the politics of an entire state before. 3 stickers send one very simple message. Protect my trans friends, or else. I'm from the Pacific Northwest as well, grew up in Seattle, Washington, and growing up there, both of my parents, they're both massage therapists. It's actually why I sound like this. And I'm a little worried whenever I start talking, people just think it's an NPR pledge drive. And the truth is, I sound a lot more like a massage therapist than either of my parents. Because my mom is from Germany, my father is from Boston, neither of which are historically relaxing accents. German and a Boston accent, that's less of a massage studio, more of a scene from Saving Private Ryan. And I was bullied as a kid, I was. Does your dad give you massages? Does he? I was like, yeah. Of course. Like, isn't that weird? He's like, no, I'm not attracted to my dad. But thanks for telling me a little bit about you, Caleb. But I went to a spa for the first time a few years back, and the masseuse there, she asked me, have you ever had a massage before? I was like, yeah, actually, both of my parents are massage therapists. She goes, oh no, I'm worried this won't meet your expectations then. It's like, what do you think I'm gonna say? That's not how Daddy does it. Your hands aren't soft like Mommy's at all. I've been growing concerned, though, that the calm in my voice has been extending too far into the rest of my life. I was rewatching the Hunger Games movie, and in the middle of it, my Apple Watch went off, and it goes, "Warning, your heartbeat has dropped below 40 beats per minute." I was like, that is concerning, considering I'm watching a teenager get hunted for sport right now. And my heart was like, what a great time to relax. I bought the Apple Watch a couple years ago because I want to get in better shape. If you don't have one, the way it works is you can share your fitness activity with other people in your life. My buddy Paul knows a lot about working out. He's the one guy who could see what I was up to. We were texting back and forth one night. I go, hey, look, I'm actually on a date right now. She's come back from the bathroom. I gotta go. He goes, oh, I didn't know you were on a date. I'll be watching the activity in your watch later this evening. It's like, do I have performance anxiety to impress my friend Paul? We get back to my place, which is sitting on the couch, and we each have a glass of wine. She's like, so, what are you into? It's like, I think jumping jacks are pretty hot. She goes, actually, I was thinking maybe more like we could watch a TV show if you catch my drift. It's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Have you seen the P90X fitness series? I live out in the suburbs now, and I love it. Go for a lot of walks in my neighborhood. Met this nice older couple going bird watching. The gentleman told me, he's like, you'd be surprised once you start to go bird watching how many other people you meet that also love birds. It's like, I do hope that you're right, sir. Or maybe it's just that anybody you meet in public with binoculars has to tell you that they're bird watching. Like, yeah, I was also bird watching. All kind of birds over by Carol's house. Birds like to come home every day at 6 o'clock. For a long time, though, I lived in a small studio apartment in the city, one of those Murphy beds in the wall. And that was never a fun place to bring someone home to. Just, do you want to go to the bedroom? Stay right here. If you wouldn't mind just helping me move this coffee table real quick. Lift with your legs, not your back. Would hate for someone to get hurt at a time like this. And then I would just have to take my bed out of the wall. And that's not sexy. It's about as sexy as going, mind if I change it to something a little more comfortable? If you're just wearing those pants that also zip off into shorts. I was driving around town one time, went by a Murphy bed showroom, store just for Murphy beds. And I didn't make it inside, but I like to believe it at a first glance, just an empty room. And if you didn't get the joke, I want you to picture a wall. What happened this past year, though, is my lease was up early, and so for about 6 months, second time in my life, I had to move back in with my folks. The first time was right after college, and that can hit the ego a little bit as a man, it can, But if you ever find yourself in that situation, all you need to do is find another friend who also lives with his mom and just trade houses. So if you're on a date, she's like, you don't live with your parents, do you? You're like, not with my parents. I live with Marianne and Dan. Room came fully furnished with all these trophies right here. I liked moving in the second time, though, because my dad, he's 80 years old. My mom, she's turning 70 in the fall. And that time is really precious with the people you love and you care about, But I will say, being there the second time kind of locked in couple of my opinions about the world. Like, I do think there should be an age limit for the president now. Mostly because I played the board game Risk with my 80-year-old father. And one night, 5 hours into the game, my dad attacked Asia with all of his troops because he was, and I quote, tired and wanted to end the game. Like, Dad, it's 10 p.m. And he goes, not in Saigon. 5 minutes into the assault, he abandons it, he goes to bed. Now my mom, my girlfriend, and I, we take a vote. We decide the only accurate way to finish the game is if I play for my dad, but only make the most erratic decisions possible. 3 hours later, as a ghost player, my dad wins the game. And what feels less like a board game at this point, more like a World War III simulator. What I'm trying to say is, when I was a kid, probably all of us, we used to do this thing called the presidential fitness test. And they got rid of it. But I think it should come back before presidents. Because I didn't watch Trump's inauguration. But I would have pay-per-viewed to watch him try to do a pull-up. Or the sit and reach. And I go all over the country for this job. It's tough to do political jokes because the country's never been more divided. I was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this past October. Same street, 3 different houses. First front yard, Trump sign. Second front yard, Harris sign. Third front yard, inflatable minion dressed up like a pumpkin. And I don't want to get too political, but I think it should be easier for some of these third-party candidates to get on the ballot. Because I checked. I didn't see Kevin's name anywhere. Kevin is the name of the minion, by the way. That is where I've seen my dad's age the most, though, you know, board games. Because I come from a loving family, I come from a kind family. We are a board game family. It means that once a week, around the dinner table, we talk a lot of shit. And nothing is off limits, and everything is acceptable. And my dad's not doing so hot in these games, so his shit talk is leaving the game, and he's resorting to real life stuff now. We're playing Monopoly one night. My dad lands on Boardwalk. My mom's got a bunch of hotels. She goes, well, 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 look who's found himself out of the game already. What do you have to say for yourself, mister? My dad goes, well, you're a bad driver. My mom goes, that's not a very nice way to talk to your new landlord. But I want to be a good son, you know. My folks have been supportive, come to a lot of shows over the years. Never want something to be a surprise. So I sat my dad down one night. I go, look, I got this new joke I've been doing. Something you said in the privacy of our home. What do you think about it? He goes, to be honest, son, I appreciate you telling me, but I don't think that's a very nice way to talk to your new landlord. The truth is, though, I grew up very straight-laced. I wasn't always the bad boy you see in front of you tonight. I was very anti-drug as a kid, to the point where my freshman year in my homeroom class chose, not assigned, an anti-drug presentation. I had a big trifold poster, my slogan up top. It said, do life, not drugs. And there were pictures of people windsurfing and rock climbing and snowboarding. And now that I'm older, I know that all of those people love to do drugs. Often while they're doing the sport. That's why everyone's so chill out in the mountains. And now they have purple hair and heart-shaped glasses in the front row. I played a lot of sports growing up. I'm from the trophy generation. I'm a millennial, you know. And we get made fun of by older generations for thinking we're better than we are. So all those trophies we got. And I don't think that's true. Because we would have the banquet at the end of every season. And if you got a trophy that was associated to your character as a human being, you knew you sucked at sports. You're like, for Bryce, we have the most valuable player award. Every single game, you're out there dominating the competition. And for Bo, wow. Best high fives. Remember the time you kicked the ball into our goal? Didn't stop you. You were undeterred. You ran over and high-fived every parent on the other team anyway. 32 years old now, 32. One of my best friends, same age as me, somehow never had a driver's license his whole life. But this past year, he did just get his private investigator certification. And I love the idea of a PI with no license. He's just like, bus driver, follow that car. We're gonna have to skip Durden Union. Next up will be Justice. Now whenever I get in the bus, I see a guy wearing a long black trench coat all the way to the ground. I'm like, that's not a pervert. That's Sherlock Holmes right there. There is one thing I think we could do to improve buses around the country, though. How a lot of them have that accordion part in the middle? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah? I think it should make the same noise as an accordion. That way as the bus weaves through the city, like, oh, here come all of the poor people. And I want to be clear. I'm not making fun of bus people, because I'm a bus person. I used to take the bus to work every single day for years. Still take it home from the airport almost every weekend. If you've never had to do that in your life, I'm going to let you know that the ads on the outside of the bus are for a very different group of people than the ads on the inside of the bus. The outside of the bus is like, hey, you have a healing energy. You know that Portland has some of the top nursing programs in the country? And I get in the bus, and the bus is just like, do you need cash for gold? You get off of the bus, and the bus is like, Michigan is beautiful during the summer. You and your family should consider a trip to Ann Arbor. I get back on the bus, and the bus just goes, hey, you! Public health announcement! There's a new strain of antibiotic-resistant chlamydia on the rise. Not even the nurses from Portland will to help you. You dirty little slut. Oh, I got a snort. That's cool. I'm at the point in my life now, though, where most of the ads I'm seeing are online ads, a lot of those masterclass commercials on Instagram. And my favorite is for Chris Voss's The Art of Negotiation. And in the ad, he goes, I'm going to teach you all the strategies I learned as one of the nation's top hostage negotiators in the FBI. I'm like, you know what, Chris? I think the stakes we're dealing with, just a little bit different. Because all I'm trying to do is convince the server at the Cheesecake Factory, even though it's not on the menu, they have all of the ingredients to prepare root beer float. And I'm not trying to go in there and be like, I know you have it back there. And I don't think you want this blood on your hands. But I was intrigued, so I took the course, much less of a class on how to negotiate. And more of a documentary, really, about a lunatic named Chris Voss. Who treats everyday interactions with customer service workers like a hostage negotiation. And I have a lot of empathy for these people, because most of my jobs growing up were customer service. When I was in high school, I worked at Target for a year, and I'll say, working retail at 16, that taught me walkie-talkies aren't fun forever. People would ask me questions I was highly unqualified to answer. I had a 50-year-old man come over one day, and he goes, what should I get my wife for a 20-year wedding anniversary? It's like, you're asking me? The 16-year-old boy in his dad's red polo? It's like, And you want to get it here, today, in this Target. He goes, mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know, like a gift card to another store, maybe? You should start by leaving the bread aisle, sir. Unless your wife is a bird. In which case, I hate to alarm you, but I think my neighbor's been watching her. To this day, Target is the only job I've ever had where I was drug tested. And also the only job I've had where I think I would have been better at it on drugs. Because they would have me clean up the pet food aisle every single night and say, make the cats smile. And what that means, I have to turn 1,000 cans of cat food to show the cat's smiling face. And right as I finish, this sweet 80-year-old woman would come in, sweep 100 cans off the shelf, go back, reset another 100 cans. And sober. That's a war crime. But on a 10 milligram edible, that's a pretty good Friday night. I would do that off the clock. Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Fancy meeting you here again, Mr. Whiskers. Meow. It's okay. No, you're good. I don't want to deter anyone from laughing. Do you need a minute? Oh no. May I ask what made you connect particularly with the cat joke? No? It just touched you on a spiritual level? Yeah. That's upsetting, isn't it? Good, I hope your face falls off. I think we're all born, and there's a fundamental question that resides in our brain as we age, and we go, what type of joke would make me laugh so hard that I cried? I think we all hope it's some kind of high-minded literature like Mark Twain. And what was your name? Bailey. I regret to inform you that the type of material that will bring you to tears is a grown man meowing like a cat. You guys are gonna fucking lose your minds when I oink at the end of my set. Would it be all right if I did a character for all of you? Yeah. This is a dog. Woof. Is this what people wanted all along? Bo, where do you find inspiration for your material? Well, last Christmas, my girlfriend gave her nephew this little toy that if you touch it, it'll make the noise that different animals make. And I do those noises on stage. And people's faces hurt. Okay, back to my material. You better fucking laugh at the real jokes, too. I got a call from my old university earlier this week, and they went, hey, we want you to give us $200. In exchange, we'll give you a branded University of Washington license plate. It's like, I'm 32 years old. I drive a 99 Camry with 200,000 miles on it. You should be paying me to make sure no one knows I went to your university. This sales call has turned into a hostage negotiation. You give me the $200, and I'll buy a hoodie from the rival college. The neighborhood I lived in college is the worst place I've ever lived, and I know that because we get these weekly campus safety alerts. There was 1 month, there were 2 robberies, even a pistol whipping a few blocks from the home. And that's a scary thing when you look like me. Because I don't look intimidating at all. It just looks like God went, I know, let's throw a golden retriever into a Mormon's body. And he'll be raised by 2 massage therapists. One time in high school, I went to a friend's house for the first time, knocked on the door, his mom answered it. She goes, we already have a church, and just shut it in my face. But I called up my mom, I told her about the pistol whipping. She got really concerned. She's like, Bo, you should wear a bicycle helmet whenever you walk home at night. That way no one can hurt you. I was like, that is a horrible idea. All that's gonna happen is 2 guys are gonna see me and just be like, And they're gonna think somebody already stole my bike. But look, there are some perks to looking like a missionary. There are, you know? Never been hassled going over the border into Canada. Not once, never. Let's go, Mr. Johnson. Do you have anything you need to declare today? Got nothing but my love for the Lord. Have you heard of him before, brother? Perhaps you have some time right now. Have you ever heard of the New York Times bestseller, the Bible? And that's how I brought cocaine into Canada. But I want to be honest with you lovely folks here tonight. I've never actually done coke, not once. But my favorite drug-related experience is tied to cocaine. I was a sophomore in college at a house party. This guy put 3 lines on their hockey table, and he bent over right as his friend turned it on. It looked like a bank heist gone awry. I was like, I don't know what coke feels like, but it can't be better than how I feel right now. I lived in a big party house in college. We drink a lot of Fireball whiskey, which is just regular whiskey, but for kids. We had one party where my buddy, he passed out on the couch with his shoes on. My other roommate came up with a Sharpie. He was like, we should draw a penis on his forehead. I was like, come on, we're adults. We don't do that anymore. So I took the Sharpie from him, just went over, gave him a nice, full, bushy pair of kitty whiskers instead. So if you see a man walking down the street with a penis on his forehead, you know his friends did that. But a man with whiskers, he might have done that himself. It's like, I'm Carl the cat. Meow. We had 9 roommates in the house, and one of the couples, they had the bedroom above the living room. They'd have loud sex, and plaster would fly off the ceiling, where the bed was going to collapse through and crush us all on the couch below. And I would be fine dying in a sex-related accident, but not as an incidental third party, not as collateral damage. That'd be like dying in a skydiving accident, but only because you were hit by the skydiver. My junior year, we had a new guy move in. His name was Danny, and Danny was on the rugby team. And everyone on the rugby team, it was a hazing ritual, had to go into a sex shop and buy one item. So he had this giant purple dildo with him. And it's particularly striking because when you're that age, you don't have a lot of possessions. So that was 1/10 of everything that he owned. And not just on account of the size. Biggest drinker in the house. He would get blackout drunk and eat all of my leftovers while I was at work. And that was a problem because I had a night job in college. I came home, ate dinner very, very late. I was the door guy at a bar for a while, you know? I was the guy who gave everyone a stamp on the hand when they came in. You guys know the stamp on the hand? Yeah? I love it when you go to a show and you get a stamp on your hand. That's my favorite part of the whole night. Because then everyone knows you had fun the next day. But sometimes I'm too busy. Got my own stamp at home. People see me on a Monday like, ooh, notary, where's that? Oh, it's a fun little dive bar down the street. Right across from Void and Past Due. I was out front one evening, though. This guy comes over, full drink in his hand. He goes, can I take this outside with me? I was like, no. He's like, well, what are you going to do about it? I was like, honestly, mostly just be disappointed in you. He looked at his drink. He just put it down. And he left. I was like, wow, I'm going to be an incredible father someday. But I'm coming home from work late one evening. I get these big bushes by the front door. And I'm trying to get my key in the lock, and a raccoon popped out. And that was the night I learned that when I'm afraid, the noise I make is just, oh no. Like a scared Kool-Aid man. And I've always startled very easily, you know. That's why I prefer a horror novel to a horror film. A lot harder to get a jump scare from a book than a movie. Unless it's like a pop-up book, maybe. Like, whoa, that choo-choo came out of nowhere. But I get inside, I open up the fridge, I'm looking for my dinner, it's missing again. I was like, that's it, enough's enough, I'm gonna finally get revenge. Because every weekend, Danny and I would take a hot yoga class together. If you've never done hot yoga, just picture hell, but sponsored by Lululemon. And he would always roll his yoga mat up really, really tight. When we got to the studio, he would just whip it out. Like no one's gonna put something in there one day. So one morning, he's making breakfast. I sneak into his room and just picked up that dildo and I rolled it nice and tight in there. And I go, Danny, you wanna go do yoga? And he goes, you know it. And I'm gonna be honest, never been more excited to work out in my whole life. We get to the studio, we're late, class is already in session, and we're just greeting the morning sun. And we tiptoed in, and he braced himself, and just, you hear, ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. It sounded like the drums in Phil Collins in the Air Tonight. And I don't know if you've ever seen a flying purple dildo, but it's beautiful. Like a Russian gymnast tumbling through the air. It somehow stuck the landing. From the back room, just, not again! Yoga teacher looking down like, oh, did your friend want to observe class this morning? And from Danny's lips, just, oh no. I was single for most of my 20s, you know, and one of the things I learned is that I'm a straight man, but I think I make a better looking gay man. Because a lot of the men that hit on me are objectively very good looking. And I don't necessarily think that all the women I'm interested in feel the same way about me. But I'm pretty sure those same women would definitely want to have sex with the men that want to fuck me. So, mathematically, I'm gorgeous. And it feels good to be beautiful, baby. But I was at a bar one night. I'm talking to this lady. Thought it was going pretty well. She had her hand going up and down my leg. And all of a sudden she goes, "Oh my gosh, you are so nervous right now. You have no idea what you're doing." I was like, "That's not true." And she goes, "Prove it to me." So I did what I thought a cool guy in the movies would do. And I leaned in, and she leaned in, and I leaned in, and she leaned in, and we kissed. And she looked back at me and she goes, "That's not how a confident man kisses a lady. You didn't even grab my hair or anything." I was like, "Yeah, because you're a stranger." I bet if you saw a man just grab a woman by the hair at a bar, you wouldn't go, "Hey, look, what a confident man." I bet he's read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. But she reached back out, she grabbed me by the shirt and she pulled me in, and she kissed me really hard and she goes, "Now that's how you kiss a lady." It's like, "I'm not a lady." "You're the lady." Then I put my bike helmet on and I ran away like a man. This show is a real treat to get to do, you know, because any performer does weird gigs over the years. Strangest show I've ever done. Probably about 6-7 years ago now, I was booked to open for the old soul singer Lionel Richie. And I'm a very strange choice to open for Lionel Richie. Me opening for Lionel Richie is kind of like if you went to the nicest steakhouse in town, and as an appetizer you didn't ask for, the server just brought out some pink fluffy cotton candy. You're like, "Actually, we ordered the steak." And the server's like, "You have to eat this first." For 25 minutes. And you know how you and your friends have been talking and having a good time? That's gonna come to a stop too. And if you don't enjoy this cotton candy, it'll feel sad on its drive home. So I don't know if you've been to a lot of comedy shows or not before. There's kind of one ideal scenario. Outdoor park that can seat up to 5,000 people, where everyone's paid a lot of money to see Lionel Richie. And no one's been warned. There'll be any comedy whatsoever. So I'm driving over. I call up one of my best friends, Mace. I go, "Look, Mace, I think it'd be really funny, maybe before I told any jokes, what if I just walked out on stage and I sang one of Lionel Richie's biggest hits?" He goes, "That is a horrible idea." Horrible. Why would you open with it when you could close with it instead? Get to the venue. In the same way your host tonight has been kind enough to bring us all on with our names, some applause from you lovely folks, nothing of the sort that night. I go on stage cold that afternoon. 5 p.m., the sun is fully up, both of the video monitors are turned off, just 4,000 people stare at me like I'm gonna go, "Does anyone drive a red Mazda?" I do about 20 minutes of comedy. Like I said, 4,000 people there. If you shut your eyes, you wouldn't have heard them, but they were there the whole time. I look out over the crowd and I go, "Look, my whole life, my biggest dream, more than comedy, has always been to be a professional singer. And it would mean the world to me if tonight, before Mr. Richie comes out here, if I could sing one song for all of you." And it was electric. A lot like the room in this moment. And just go, "Hello, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I can see it in your eyes." And what I want to point out is, when you go to a show to see a star, a real celebrity, someone like Lionel Richie, a lot of folks don't get there on time for the opening act. They get there for the main event. So at this point, hundreds and hundreds of people are still pouring into the park. They never saw me go out there do any jokes. All they know is they paid $125 to hear the caramel tones of their favorite singer one Mr. Lionel Richie, and there's some random white kid on stage just butchering his biggest hit. And you see all these couples leaning into each other like, oh no. Is there another Lionel Richie? Is this the world's worst cover band? But the cool thing is I got 2 comp tickets for the show. I got to invite my folks. They got to sit up right front and center, see Lionel Richie live in concert, right where you 2 are tonight. And I was very grateful. I don't get to do stuff like that for them that often. So a month later, I'm at their house for dinner. One of my best friends, Chris, he joins. He goes, wow, I heard that Bo got to open for Lionel Richie. That is so cool. How did Bo do? And my mom was just like, Lionel Richie was incredible. And it's all right. I was able to take it, because I was bullied as a kid. Even before my mom got to me. When I was in elementary school, I had a bully. His name was Dylan. Bullied me for years. Until finally, we're at a field trip at the museum. He pulled down my pants and my underwear in front of the whole class. And I'll never forget it. Everybody, they laughed and they laughed and they laughed because of how big my dick was in my tight little body. So disproportionate, they yelled. You'll never grow into it, they yelled. The haunting cruelty of children, And the way that my elementary school dealt with conflict is they would get everyone in a big circle, a lot like this, have the victim stand in the middle and explain what happened. Which is kind of like being bullied all over again. And then everyone in the class would go one by one by one. They would say what they would have done and how they would have felt. And I'll never forget it. The first girl, her name was Laura Tideman. She goes, well, first, I would have pulled my pants back up. I was like, where were you when I needed you, Laura? My dad was better about it. He shared some wisdom, He sat me down in the bed that night. He goes, look, Bo, all anybody in this world wants is love. So when people like Dylan are cruel to you and lash out at you, it's because he's missing that love in his life. Do you understand? And I took that in, and I thought about the lesson, and I thought about my bully. And I was like, good. It's what he deserves. I was a very shy, quiet kid growing up. I loved to read. I loved reading. When I was in 5th grade, I took an aptitude test, and I was reading at a 10th grade level. Pretty cool, pretty impressive. 32 years old now. Proud to say, still reading at a 10th grade level. But I've been working on it, been trying to get back in the game, I was in Oakland, California about 2 years ago now. I go into the bookstore, and I'm immediately drawn to a fantasy novel. Slim Chance, 1 or 2 of you might have heard of it, had a gold cover, had dragon wings across the front. It's a book called Fourth Wing. Mm-hmm. And I finished the book, and it turns out I love literature written for horny women. If you don't know the novel, it's about an elite dragon riding academy. It's pretty much Top Gun but for dragons. Only if Maverick and Iceman did full penetration. Another thing about the book is that from the cover alone, you would never know this was a smut novel. I didn't know when I bought the book. It's kind of like if you got 200 pages into the Fellowship of the Ring, and the hobbits just had an orgy. I'm in Baltimore reading the book. Me and my buddy Tyler were sharing a hotel room together for some shows. And he goes, wow, we both brought books. How fun would it be if we each read a page? was like, I hate that idea. And he goes, my book is about the history of storytelling. It says in here that story is a human tradition passed down via genetics, the same way eye color or hair color is. Isn't that fascinating? It's like, that is so fascinating. What's even more fascinating is that somehow, can you believe it? My book is about the exact same thing. So we could probably just skip it tonight. He goes, read the page you're on right this second. I go, all right, well, like I said, the book's been pretty academic up until this point in time. So this page here does feel like just a little bit of a departure from the rest of the book. What it says is, he slipped the strap of my nightgown from my shoulder, and the cool air kissed the hardened peak of my nipple. So 2 hours later, we finished the book. I had one buddy, because, you should be listening to audiobook. You're a busy guy, no one will know what you're reading. Also, you can multitask, work out at the gym, listen at the same time. It's like, that wouldn't work for me with this novel. I can't just be rock hard on the elliptical. Someone from the YMCA is gonna come over. Like, what's going on over here? Like, I'm actually pretty into jumping jacks. I do want to point out, I am aware that I sound less like a comedian and more like an audiobook narrator. After each punchline, I should go, end of joke 33. The book, it worked, though, I got back into reading. I've been reading more smut for ladies. And I know these books are for ladies, by the way, because Fourth Wing, for instance, 665 pages. Only a woman would need that many pages. Smut for Men would be a one-sided pamphlet. And it would start with the sentence, he put it in. But these fantasy novels for women, these fantasy smut novels for women, I think they're proof that women have far more exciting and creative sexual fantasies than straight men. Because men are like, I don't know, I think it would be hot if I slept with my secretary. For me, personally, I think it would be hot if I had a secretary. What are you into? Delegating tasks, mostly? And at least according to these fantasy smut novels, women are like, I don't know, like maybe it would be hot if I lived out in a cottage in the woods with my two sisters and our elderly father, and I was the only one with the tools or skills to hunt and keep us alive. And then one night around the dinner table, a giant wolf bursts through the front door. And that wolf carries me away to a magical kingdom far, far away. And that wolf is gonna turn into the sexiest fairy you've ever seen. And you know I'm gonna fuck that fairy. And what you might have been able to tell from some of the shy giggles in the room is I didn't write any of them. That is the direct plot of a $1 million franchise. Because that's the other thing about fantasy smut novels. When you describe the plot out loud, they don't sound hot anymore. When I first started dating my girlfriend, she told me she liked smut, and I was like, ooh, maybe we could do some stuff from your little books. And she goes, absolutely not. Unless you can turn into a bat that is off the table. When you describe the plot of a fantasy smut novel to another person, you get a look that only compares to if you're trying to teach someone the rules of a complicated board game, but while touching yourself. It's just a mixture of confusion and disgust. And I've been doing this joke all around the country. And one of my favorite things is always at least one woman who will be losing her mind the whole way through. And her husband finding out what his wife is reading for the first time. I was in Calgary, Alberta one time doing a run of shows. There for 6 days, Tuesday show, I have to do an hour for 4 people. I'll say a 4-person audience puts the expression, three's a crowd to the test. Having lived it, I would argue 4 is just a man standing alone in the dark. Thinking about the last 10 years of his life. But 2 of those 4, these 2 women, they love the fourth wing joke. I don't know if you're good at math, but 2 out of 4, that's 50%. Those are pretty good numbers. After the show, all 4 people lined up. Less of a line, more of 4 people standing up at the same time. And the women, they came over, they go, look, we figured out what's going wrong with your career. I was like, thank God. Is it animal noises? And they go, no. They go, you're doing the wrong venues. You shouldn't do comedy clubs or small theaters. You should be performing in bookstores. It's like, it's not a bad idea, but I don't love that now my career is tied to a second failing business. End of joke 34. So I thought tonight, a fun way to end the show would be if, for the first time ever, I could have my dad try his hand at some stand-up comedy. Please make some noise for my father, Anthony Johnson, everybody.
Have you had enough yet? Meow. I'll just sit down and let you guys keep laughing. Why not? Yeah, this is that's a tough act to follow, you know. Anyway, but I'm a massage therapist. You've heard that, so yeah, that's something that I got into after a few years of suffering from the maluse of my own body, doing various things. I thought, well, maybe I should get some body work from some professionals, and that I did, and during that process, I was very grateful for what they did for me. So I thought, well, this is something I'd really like to do, because I have worked with my hands for many years and so forth. So anyway, about 41 years ago, I did start my practice after having much training. And one day, a young lady from Great Britain came in, and as they did with all clients of those days when they came in, I would hand them out a little piece, little questionnaire that would, just ask them to, what part of their body they want worked on, what was their difficulty that I could address, and so forth. So I knew I could, handle it in a way that made sense. And anyway, I started working on it. I worked on it for about a half an hour. And at the end of a half hour, that's usually, when I say, well, I said to her, how do you feel? And she said, I'm Randy. And I said, Randy? I thought your name was Elizabeth. And she says, no, I'm horny. I said, oh, that's outside my scope of practice. And I just politely asked her to leave, and because that's not how Daddy does it.
Give it up for my dad, everybody. Give it up for
This ain't no photograph. This is life. I'm just a modern man. You better turn this world around. On if all our ship goes down. This is life. This ain't no photograph. Hell, this is life.
Hey, thank you, man.
You did amazing.